Coming up tonight on Night Talk, get to the point.
Tensions between police and urban communities throughout the nation continue with protests centering on themes of Black Lives Matter, I Can't Breathe, Justice for Leon, and Hands Up, Don't Shoot. Many officers are taking part in protests of their own, turning their backs on authority themselves and taking an us versus them approach to protesters in the streets. Is this current dynamic a result of several unfortunate incidences or a reflection of the historical woes between communities of color and police forces throughout America? And is the rub between police and urban citizens an issue about policing cities in America or a symptom of deeper racial troubles throughout the nation?
We'll talk about the current tensions between police forces and urban communities with our Get to the Point panel this week, featuring Pittsburgh Police Chief Cameron McLay, Noble's Gregory Rogers, and Pitt's Dr. Waverly Duck here on Night Talk. Get to the point. My current views on this ongoing movement lead off the show with our starting point. Maybe we've just fooled ourselves into thinking that all of this is either about Eric Garner or Ezell Ford or Tamir Rice or Leon Ford Jr. or Jordan Miles or even Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin. It's almost like how we fooled ourselves into thinking that we live in a post-racial America after electing the first African-American president. And just as the previous 6 years has told us an awful lot about how far we have come collectively with race relations, the current woes between police and communities of color over recent times have indicated the bumps in our common path as a nation. Yet it also tells us about the journey behind us as well as its legacy. If we're going to be part of a great region, as well as a great nation, we must speak with a genuine honesty and a humble directness. And to be honest and direct, we as Americans have not witnessed 1 decade in our proud history where the ties between local police and the citizens of their communities has not been gnawed at by mistrust, misconduct, and misunderstandings. Whether that goes back to public lynchings after mysterious police releases from jail 100 years ago, to fatal tactical raids in the 1960s, to atrocities from Rodney King to Abner Louima in the 1990s, to blotched police actions today. Every time we attempt to discuss and improve police relations with African Americans, we end up with red herring debates about how all blacks hate all police officers. We don't. About how all white police officers are all racist. They're not. Or bringing up past police behaviors and its impact on current conditions is nothing more than playing the race card. It's not. Sadly, when a well-intended and common sense sign held up by a police chief of a troubled force is seen as inflammatory and racist, but ongoing defenses of stop and frisk practices are not, well, perhaps we know everything we need to know about the work ahead. But if we are to resolve these issues, what should we really be focusing on? Should we focus more on the fact that Pittsburgh is roughly 26% black, but the police force is roughly 13% black? Or the fact that the city has practically the widest economic gaps between blacks and whites among the top 25 cities in the nation? Should we focus on the lack of diversity within the police department, or the lack of diversity among business, political, economic, and academic leadership throughout the region? Are policing issues the problem in Pittsburgh and across America, or merely a symptom of something greater that we refuse to adequately address? We love calling ourselves the most livable city, such as we like referring to America as a shining city on a hill. But until we address some root causes and not just some random weeds, this will remain a tale of two cities that contains a blinding hypocrisy, reflecting a reality for all to see. That's our starting point. Time for you to get to the point. You can give us a call at 412.